between the Sand Crabs and the Mainland Buccaneers. Mainland leads SeaBreeze by a score of 20-6. We've seen both schools' bands have come out and entertained everybody. Coach Oakham, first half thoughts.
First half thoughts is I sure wished it was a 13-6 ball game. I think everybody would be more excited. SeaBreeze sky high when the game started. The reality of the fact is that they're 2 scores down to a great football team to start the second half, and I'm sure somebody in there said all great games are won in the second half, and we'll just have to see how it goes.
Coach Allen?
They've had some things go their way. They've had some things not go their way. They look good early, but you can't turn the football over as many times they had against a good football team and hope to stay in it. I don't think they're out of it, but they're going to need something good to happen here early and get some momentum back.
Mainland again leads 20-6, and there's that fair catch that everybody thought should have been done a lot earlier.
Halftime coaching.
Mainland, by a score of 20-6, all 20 of their points came in the second quarter. The 6 points for SeaBreeze on 2 Sammy Hayworth field goals, one of them a 45-yarder. So first and 10, SeaBreeze from their 40-yard line. Let's see what we can get going here in their first drive of the second half.
I felt like SeaBreeze's quarterback play was pretty good. I think the receiver play is what's hurt them. Both sides of the ball, some turnovers by the receivers. Quick screen underneath.
Floyd on the reception. He's going to slip his way past a couple defenders.
What a great play.
Going across the 50. Across the 40, down to the 30, and finally taken out of bounds, and a late flag on the play, taken out of bounds at about the 28-yard line of Mainland.
What a great individual effort that was by Rashad Floyd.
It sure was, and I think they got him for tackling too hard. That happened to me my first year at SeaBreeze High School. I had a kid named Dwight Simmons that was a 3 technique, weighed about 260, and we were playing down at New Smyrna. There was an old official named Smitty. And Smitty threw the flag, and he came over and he said, "Coach," he said, "he just hit him too hard."
We're going to tack on some yards at the end of this play. It's a personal foul against the Buccaneers. That's going to give the Sand Crabs a first down deep into Mainland territory. It looks like they're going to set up at about the 14-yard line. Not a bad way to start out the second half, Coach Oakham.
It's sure not, and this is big series right here. Coach Allen said something good had to happen early, and if they could do something with this possession, that would be that good.
I think it would make them feel very good about themselves and give them some confidence and get that spirit back.
Sylvester on the carry. He's going to go absolutely nowhere. He might have even lost a yard on the play. It's going to bring up second down, and we'll call it 11 for the Sand Crabs.
He's done such a good job for him all year. I really like this young man. He's just so small that first tackler, he's not going to break a lot of tackles. And, he's got some durability issues, as all small backs do. But they've got some good mileage out of him. I like him as a player.
Jeremiah Wilson in the shotgun set. Looking to his right, another slip screen. Throwing a little high, intended for Rashad Floyd. It's probably a good thing that Floyd didn't come down with that.
Yeah, they might want to hold on to that up front block just a little longer. He's having to get that out of his hand really, really quick.
Third down and 11 for the Sand Crabs. Ball resting on the Mainland 15-yard line. Mainland looks like they're coming. They're going to back out.
They're going to get a delay of game is what they're going to get.
And I think
unless they call a timeout.
SeaBreeze coach Mark Beach is calling a timeout for the Sand Crabs. We'll keep it right here.
I think there's a little added motivation for Coach Rowland, having coached on the SeaBreeze staff and being over here at Mainland and, being a Mainland guy and that type of thing. He seems pretty animated tonight.
Yeah, I think anybody that's associated with either one of these programs finds a reason to kind of get a little extra up for this ball game. I know one of the years they did a TV show called A Day in the Life of the SeaBreeze Mainland football game, and we had TV cameras with us all week. I wasn't excited about it, but they were at practice, and it was quite an adventure. I finally, at the very end, kind of relaxed a little bit with it, but
not an easy thing to do as a coach.
And everybody, I used to tell the kids, there's a lot of times that this the only game people are going to see you play is this one.
That's right. Or remember, perhaps.
Yep.
Third down and 11 for the Sandcrabs. Wilson looks to his left, fires a dart, and almost intercepted. Again, Kyle Oliver, who's playing outstanding.
He is buzzing that hook area, and they almost baited him into what they wanted there, trying to get him to the stop route, show some pressure, get it out of his hand fast. That's been the answer, is the stop route. He's almost stepped right in front.
Sammy Hayworth will come in and attempt his third field goal of the night. Ball is going to be placed at the 22. It'll be a 32-yard field goal attempt. Snap, hold, kick. I think that made its way through, and it sure did. Hayworth, solid again. 3 points for the Sandcrabs. Puts the Mainland lead. It's now 20-9. Mainland still leading the Sandcrabs.
Well, the first 5 minutes is the most important part of the football game here in the second half, and SeaBreeze couldn't convert it into a touchdown, but they did convert it into points, and they're 11 down. They're still playing. Get the defense back on the field, who's done some really good things, Coach, tonight, and played extremely hard. And, that just like the team in blue can pick it off and take it to the house, as can the team in white. So they can build momentum on defense as well. I'll be interested to see if the Mainland offense has made any adjustments in the locker room to try to change some things.
Guys, District 10 is set. The winner of that district is Edgewater. Edgewater beat Southlake. Excuse me. Yes. Edgewater beat Southlake by a score of 55-44. Tonight's winner hosts.
Light him up.
Hayworth's kickoff is fielded by Adrian Killens. He will go from one sideline to the other and give Mainland the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line. Coach Oakham, when we talked about this earlier, you were a little surprised at that score out of District 10.
I was. I didn't realize Edgewater was having such a good year. I know they'd been traditionally a great football program, and then they'd been down, I thought, the last few years, and I thought Southlake was really on the rise. So the loser of this ball game tonight would travel to Edgewater to play, and the loser would host Southlake right here in 2 weeks.
Killens on the carry.
Ooh, one step away. Coach Gahagan, you talk about District 10. District 9, those teams are 16 and 23 combined, and that's with Mainland's 8-0. But I did a little work on the regions, and Mainland actually in Region 3, the Region 3 teams have 51 wins as of yesterday, which is the most of any region in the state in their class, and they are going right at them now.
Killens again on the carry, stopped once again by Gage Van Diver, but not after Adrian picked up about 11 yards.
Coach Rashad Tow Truck Harris has got someone on the ground. When you see white defensive linemen, white jerseys on the ground, you're probably going to have a good run play. Here we go. We got some penetration. Got a little stop for loss.
Third carry of the half by Adrian Killens. Third tackle of the half by Greg Van Diver.
How come it's easier to call run plays when you're ahead than when you're behind, Coach Oakham?
You're right. I love to be ahead and be able to run the football. Nothing better.
Nothing better.
And my apologies, that's Gage Van Diver. Houston has the receiver. Pass is caught, and I think that's number 8 on the reception. It'll be Wilfred Taylor. Houston throws far side. The pass is caught by Randy Baker. And judging by where they spot the reception, he's going to be short by about 3 yards. It'll be 4th down. Mainland's going to go for it, bring in the big heavies. Houston on the carry.
Oh my.
He's got nothing but green grass in front of him. He'll step out of bounds at the 13-yard line.
Someone created an edge there.
They sure did. I saw nothing but blue shirts over here on this side, and it looked like it was going to be a convoy to the end zone.
Jacob Tillman checking in here, so we're playing with the tight end or an H-back. Oh, they've got McCreary in here too, so they're going, hey, listen, we've talked about this, Coach Oakham. I would have made SeaBreeze show me they could stop this kind of look.
Houston follows McCreary up into the hole. He's tripped up at the 6-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and short for the Buccaneers.
I wouldn't go away from it.
Second and 4. Houston gives to McCreary. McCreary.
Boy, I tell you what,
comes in.
Scooter can throw that flag.
He can. He's going to have to ice his arm tonight.
Yep, and Jacob Tillman's calf, because I think he just hit him from 30 yards away with it.
It's going to be a hold in the backfield, I believe, for Mainland. Shot block. That carries an additional 5 yards, 15-yard penalty there, personal foul instead of the 10-yard hold.
Replay the down. Second and pretty long for the Buccaneers. Ball resting at the SeaBreeze 24-yard line.
Dialing up the Steeler card.
Houston throws far side.
He's going to get out of that. Oh, you could just see it coming. You could see him getting slingshot to the outside. Great tackle. Way to finish there by the SeaBreeze defenders.
R.J. Stokes on the stop.
RJ's got double-digit tackles. Has to have tonight.
He's had quite a ball game.
Third down from the 21. Houston got a little fancy.
Yes, sir.
Got a little fancy, fumbled the ball. Nice stop by SeaBreeze's Cole Dunnigan. It'll bring up 4th down and long for the Bucks. Probably not going to go for it on this one, or will they?
Well,
they can't kick a field goal. They're not going. Yeah, I'd say they're going to go.
not the easiest play call.
You don't think take a delay here, get another 5 yards, and let Polite punt it away? He's not Sammy Hayworth.
He's not, but I think their mentality might be just take a shot down the field, take a chance to score, and maybe they pick it off and it's as good as a punt.
Interception's as good as a punt, right?
Nice hit.
Yes, it was. Rashad Floyd. Body language was a lot better than
I was just going to say the same thing, Coach. It's different, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
He looks like he's enjoying himself.
He sure does. That's a good observation there. We've just watched him just kind of be sluggish and
water break.
Houston's pass was intended for Taylor. That was broken up quickly by Rashad Floyd. Timeout on the field for a water break. 5 minutes and 40-something seconds to go in the third quarter. Your score, Mainland 20, SEABREEZE 9, as we go out taking a look at the hit by Rashad Floyd. Welcome back to Municipal Stadium, Larry Kelly Field, Billy Gahagan, Steve Allen, and Rocky Yoakum. Third quarter action. Mainland and SEABREEZE, the Buccaneers lead the Sandcrabs by a score of 20-9. First down.
Got Randy Baker in the game down here.
Oh my goodness.
For the Sandcrabs.
You got to take a little off of that one, Coach.
Yeah, little shallow cross there. He could have caught it, he could have turned it up, maybe gotten 6-7 yards out of the play. And boy, you need that against Mainland. You get behind the chains against them, you don't have much hope.
Pass falls incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Sandcrabs.
Mainland's moving some people around the secondary. Last play, Bostic was out here at corner, and now Bostic's out now, but the last play, Randy Baker was here. I'm not sure what's having them move them around like that. Maybe they're following some folks.
Sylvester on the carry for the Sandcrabs. Gain of 1 on the play to bring us 3rd down and 9.
They're showing, I don't know.
In on the stop for the Buccaneers. Once again, Kyle Oliver. Not enough yards for a first down. It'll bring up a punting situation for Sandcrabs.
Flag seems still, so I don't think the wind's going to be an issue here. Sam has just been, we just keep saying it, he's just been solid. Oh, the Crabs don't even get him on the field.
And he's walking out there buckling up his chin strap.
Number 11.
Gosh, he's had such a great night. I hate to see that out of him.
Me too. I think Sam needs to have a little more awareness there.
Right. Of course, somebody else might be calling ready. Somebody, you know.
Right. He may not be calling the cadence. You're correct. Double safeties back here for the Bucks.
This was always the scariest play for me when we played Mainland.
They rushed it, but he still got a fair kick.
Fielded at the 35. That's Will Collins. He'll take it up to the 45-yard line where it will be 1st and 10 Mainland with just under 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
Coach, I'm looking at Kevin McCrary on the bench down. He looks like he's growing every
as he sits there.
Every sixth day. This looks like he's just growing.
First and 10 Mainland. From their side of the 50, the ball is resting at the 45-yard line. They lead SEABREEZE by a score of 20-9 on this gorgeous Friday evening. Halloween, no less. Adrian Killens. Guys, he's just that much away from going bye-bye.
Several times tonight.
You feel that way every time he touches it and he gets it cranked up. You just feel like he's going to go and just take it to the house.
Pickup of 7 on the plate. Second down and 3. Mainland crossed the 50 into SeaBreeze territory. Killens again on the carry. Flag on the play. Holding the call against the Buccaneers. It'll push Mainland back.
I would think the Buccaneer penalties have reached double figures as well tonight.
No, this isn't Mainland's sharpest effort of the season by any stretch.
No. And give some of the credit to SeaBreeze and the spirit with which they've played tonight. I think it's had something to do with that. Oh, a nice tackle.
Collins on the reception. And he's brought down immediately by Bubba Balish.
I think you also got to give SeaBreeze a lot of credit, both the kids and the coaches. You know, they could have mailed this thing in a month ago. You know, they could have shut it down and decided this. You know, it's a forgotten year or whatnot. You know, here they are, still battling, still in the chance, or still going to be in the playoffs.
Houston rolling.
This is trouble.
Going to reverse field. SeaBreeze keeps contained. Houston throws it up for Baker.
Oh, man, it's a great play. Is that Bubba again? It's a great play by Bubba, but I'm going to tell you what. He put that ball right on the money with all the running he was doing. It was really put it right on the receiver.
Pass intended for Randy Baker. He's a little shaken up on the play. It'll bring up a 4th down and a definite punting situation for Mainland. Is anybody thinking fake?
No.
Ball sits at about the 46-yard line of Mainland. And punt goes completely out of bounds. SeaBreeze will get the ball. 1st and 10 from their 40-yard line. Coach Oakham, we talked earlier about the crowd. You've had 13 times at these guys, and my understanding is one of your biggest fans is listening tonight and watching.
Well, I will say hello to Aunt Roxy or my mother, Ruth Ann Yoakum, and I hope you are listening, Mom. We love you. This has been a great game for many years. You were a part of a lot of them, and I hope you're listening tonight. Thanks for mentioning that, Bill.
Oh, my pleasure. Love Mom. 1st and 10 SeaBreeze from their 40-yard line. Wilson looks to his left. He's going to throw the deep ball off of his back foot, no less. Intended receiver was, I think, Scott Summers.
He lacks no arm strength. He has arm strength.
And that again was thrown. He was falling away off his back foot.
Absolutely.
Doing his catches. I mean, he didn't step into that at all. And threw it across the field. Now that I think about it, he was on the far hash.
Yep, he threw it probably 45 yards.
Second down and 10 for the Sand Crabs. Option time. James Hicks on the carry. He'll pick up about 4 yards. It'll bring up 3rd down and 6.
crossing route. Oh, wow.
Almost intercepted by Ja'Kai Polite.
That's 2 touchdowns he's dropped tonight. He would have scored on that play, and he was open in the end zone earlier. Third quarter winding down here. Now is anybody thinking fake?
I think there's probably some people thinking it, but I don't think it's the person who's calling the play. And now we're going to find out.
Hayworth into punt. Nice high punt.
Yeah, not his best effort.
I went a little left pretty quick.
Minute and 20-something seconds remaining in the third quarter. Mainland leads SeaBreeze by a score of 20-9. This is Municipal Stadium and Larry Kelly Field. I'm Billy Gahagan, joined by Steve Allen and Rocky Yoakum. Guys, might as well start taking a look ahead at what both of these teams have remaining. SeaBreeze will be here next week. It's their last game of the year. It's senior night. And they take on Allen Nice.
The home of one famous Florida quarterback.
Kerwin Bell?
Kerwin Bell, yes sir.
Man, he was tops on their list.
Throwing me up Mayo and
First and 10 Mainland, empty backfield. Houston.
Nice.
yes, well conceived.
Wilford Taylor on the reception. He'll pick up just about 10 yards, maybe 9. It'll be second down for the Buccaneers.
I think that might have been a halftime adjustment, is to start that sprint out, wait for the contain to rush, and just drop it over their head.
Yep, I agree. It's like I said, well designed.
Under a minute to go in the third quarter. Houston by himself in the backfield again. Same thing. Little pitch and catch. Little
Tell you
sandlot football.
little sandlot football is hard to defend right there. I think I'd take my chance with the pitch and catch right there than to let him have that edge and to run it.
Sure.
Yep.
Wilford Taylor again on the reception for the Bucks. This will more than likely be the final play of the third quarter.
Well, they need to run the play.
Mainland's going to call timeout.
Goodness
Interesting.
gracious. I would hate not to be able to see those seconds on the clock there. I admire the way you've adjusted, Coach Gahagan, by saying 1 minute and 40-something seconds.
Something seconds.
That's right. You say something. I say something. Something.
Some odd. Few of them. And then there's Coach Allen. Mainland next week. They travel to Fort Pierce Central, Coach Yoakum.
Fort Pierce Central is halfway to the Keys, I think.
So you'll meet them down there?
Well, yeah, I usually drive on 95 and then I get on the turnpike at Fort Pierce and I'm headed that way.
They've had some players there. They're a little down this year. I think they've lost 4 maybe. But I think that there'll be a bit of a challenge. I don't know how much, all the way, but they'll be more athletic than, say, a SeaBreeze team.
Right.
They are playing too high against this empty look.
Taylor.
Screen.
Oh, well, that's a good call, Coach. Oh, yeah, good job.
Well defended.
Yes, it was.
Chase Hamilton on the stop, and that will bring to a close the third quarter.
I don't think Coach Sonny could be too disappointed in the way his kids have played tonight. They have really stood up and just fought.
They've done what they've been asked to do, and they've done it with great enthusiasm. And that's hard to not like.
Absolutely.
As the teams go to their respective sidelines, we will take a quick timeout as we start the fourth quarter, or end the third rather. Mainland 20, SEABREEZE 9. Municipal Stadium, Larry Kelly Field, Billy Gahagan, Steve Allen, and Rocky Yoakum. Start of the fourth quarter. Mainland leads SEABREEZE by a score of 20-9.
Point-wise, going to fall well below the expectation of at least of Coach Yoakum and I. We're thinking this might be a 42-point. Now, again, I guess it still could be. I hope, honestly, that it's not.
Nice play right there by the defensive end, Will Ross.
Excuse me, all the way from the backside. The little pump fake right there, the little show of the pass, that little just millisecond there gives him enough time to recover.
Third down and 3 for the Buccaneers.
Here we go.
On the carry.
Dunnigan.
And Cole Dunnigan. Nice play.
They just keep playing.
Ja'Kai Polite comes in to punt it away. SEABREEZE has 10 guys on the field. There were 10 players for SEABREEZE.
No penalty for that.
No, but there's going to be some yelling eventually. SEABREEZE will get the ball first and 10 from their own 10-yard line, trailing by a score of 20-9.
Coach, I believe it was Summers. I believe Summers was who was supposed to be in the ball game right there. You know, the Craps come here, they put together a drive and get some points and get 6 points, and all of a sudden, you know,
we got a ball game.
We got a real ball game. Makes the team in blue call different plays. It makes them play defense differently. It just, you know, right now I think there's a level of comfort on the Mainland side, feeling like they, to a certain extent, have this thing in hand. Not one, but in hand, in control. Oh, not a good throw there.
Wilson's pass was intended for Anthony Blake. I don't know that Jeremiah was under pressure. I just wonder if all of a sudden he's just hearing footsteps. He might have rushed that throw.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was anybody that was, you know, close enough to touch him.
But even if there was, Blake was only 5 yards in front of him. He's made that throw before.
Right. He's going to have to make some throws to get him back in it. Good, tough run. I think one of the things that's also evident, even with Jeremiah being back, and we talked about this in the games that we had early in the year, the lack of being able to get the ball down the field or whatever. I think that with him being back now for this is the second game, I think we're seeing that it's not just the quarterback. that was lacking there. That they may not have the individuals to get down the field and make those plays, because he's definitely got the arm to make that happen.
Or the individuals to block long enough to get it down there.
Yeah, that's another good point.
Mainland shows blitz
Strike.
back out.
You can score with this one, boys. You can take this one to the house. That ball was threaded in the window where it needed to be, and it was spinning nice. You can't ask for a better one than that.
In and out of the hands of Scott Summers.
And again, those things, they snowball. You know, you don't go out for the punt, and you're supposed to be out there, and now you have a chance to make a big play on third down, and you don't make the play. And at some point in all these games, somebody's going to have to make some plays. You're not going to call the perfect one, and it's not always going to go exactly how you plan. Someone's just going to have to make a play. And I tell you this, Sam has not shown up very well here in the fourth quarter. As much as we've sang his praises over the whole season, these last two are putting SeaBreeze defense in a bind.
I don't think the pressure's that great on him.
I think he's just rushing it, you know.
Not a very long punt for the Sand Crabs, so Mainland will get the ball on the SeaBreeze side of the 50, inside of the 30-yard line at about the 27. Taylor in motion.
Never understood that, Coach Oakham, how you can take the football and run into something.
How do you not see that?
Nobody on defense can touch him, but yet he runs square into a 300-pounder.
I just...
Surprisingly, there was no gain on the play. It was 2nd and 10.
Oh, tongue firmly in cheek.
Man, let's run that same play. Here we go. This time we're going to give it to him. You're welcome. He's not very fast. Wilfred Taylor got around the corner about as quickly as I would. To bring up third down for the Buccaneers.
No moral victories in football, Coach, but I don't know how the effort and they just got to be pleased on the other sideline with how the kids are fighting and they're still playing.
Yep.
Third down, Houston keeps the ball. He's going to follow Prairie around the end.
I like that scheme. If they would clean it up a little bit, I think that could be something that could be very useful to them down the road.
Yeah, when they've gotten the interior sealed, they've had a play because the pullers are getting the edge, but that time there was penetration behind them.
Right.
It'll be 4th and 2 for the Buccaneers. They're obviously going to go for it. 8 minutes and 20-something seconds remaining in the contest.
I believe this will be the third time they've done this.
They haven't thrown off it yet.
Oh.
No.
Prairie is going to get stopped.
Hey, tell you what.
Will Roth.
Prairie's not getting up real fast either. He got hit down low.
And that's the problem you run into when you put your defenders on offense, or vice versa, you know, especially as ball carriers, because you make them targets.
Yep.
Deshaun Glenn, a junior offensive lineman, also getting up a little gingerly for the Buccaneers. Nonetheless, turnover on downs. SeaBreeze will have the ball 1st and 10 from their 20-yard line.
And he's not going to get tackled high. I mean, they're going to tackle him low. I mean, he's just too big.
Wilson.
Oh, no, that's a fumble. Oh, now they're going to call it incomplete.
Is that Polite that got in and got his arm as he was throwing it?
I couldn't see the number.
Incomplete pass is the call. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 for SeaBreeze.
Yep, that was Jakai. On the play.
Does a lot of things for this football team. Forced that one.
Tyree Bostic playing some secondary in on the breakup.
It's gotten a few more kids involved in the secondary tonight, it appears, that we haven't seen as much. I know that the Baker and Bostic, they've gotten more reps tonight than we may have seen.
Third down and 10. SeaBreeze electing to run the ball. That's James Hicks on the carry. It'll bring up fourth down and another punting situation.
See if we can get Sam back untracked here and get him back to what he's been normally doing. Ooh. He had some pressure that time. I'm not sure what Sam's average was before tonight, but these last three have not helped it.
You and I must think a lot about the same things. I was going to say this is sure hurting his average.
I don't know that it hurt. I mean, it was only a 5-yard punt. It bounced at the 30 and came back. Line of scrimmage was the 20. Mainland gets the ball first and 10 at the 25.
I'm not trying to be argumentative, but why do you not know if that hurts his average? Or is that like
the old tongue-in-cheek?
There you go. All right.
Yes. Was it tongue-in-cheek when the Germans bombed for
you and I must think a lot alike, because I was thinking the same thing.
Exactly.
I don't mind admitting that. You might want to rethink that statement before you say it again, that you and I think alike. I don't mind it. I'm honored to think like you do. Gain of 2 on the play brings up second and 8. 6 minutes and 50-something seconds remaining in the contest. SeaBreeze down by 11, 20-9 is the score, and Mainland on top. Houston as receivers. On the run, finds Wilfred Taylor.
He is not done.
Taylor's going to catch the ball at the 10 and take it down to the 5-yard line.
The Mainland receivers do an excellent job with yak or run out, yards after catch. They just it never ends where they catch the ball. It just never ends there. Oh, man, I tell you what, you're on the same page there. That's pretty sporty right there.
I couldn't see, did he pitch it down?
He ducked up inside the first defender and then pitched it on the second. Yeah, it was pretty nice.
6, a little iffy.
I'd say that there's going to be a number of young men that are going to wake up in the morning and not feel exactly regular, because there's been some effort and some energy expended out here, and definitely some running into one another. There's been some hitting going on.
2 on, 2 off for SeaBreeze. 3 on, 3 off for the Buccaneers.
McCrary's checked back in. Oliver's in the game.
We're going to have a timeout if they don't hurry up.
I think they're going to get it.
Yes, they did.
Oh, here we go. Ooh, man. I think it's going to be a touchdown. I think he was on the body of the SeaBreeze player.
Prairie on the carry.
Oh.
He's supposed to make the call, just comes knocking in. Touchdown.
I think it's a good call.
Mainland's going to stay in their muddle huddle. Oh, that worked out. Okay, so your score 26-9. Mainland leading SeaBreeze. 5 minutes and a few seconds remaining in this contest. One of the things, guys, that we haven't talked about much is that this is actually for the district championship as well.
And, you know, we haven't really mentioned that, and I think that there's a bit of, you know, in the back of our minds, just kind of subconsciously, we to a certain extent thought it was a foregone conclusion that Mainland being the heavy favorite, they would win the football game, but I do think it's played out a bit different. I would have liked to seen minus maybe 2 of the turnovers, maybe by both the teams, what this thing could have been, you know, because SeaBreeze has played awfully tough tonight.
I just haven't mentioned district championship because I'm so caught up in the whole, this is actually Mainland SeaBreeze.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good point in too.
Well, it's SeaBreeze Mainland if you're a SeaBreeze guy, and it's Mainland SeaBreeze if you're
right.
Guy that wears blue and gold. 26-9 your score. Mainland comfortably on top. 5 minutes to go in the game. Peter Baudette, pooch it over. Summers lets it go out of bounds. And it'll be first and 10. Sand Crabs. They're going to say it probably went out before the 35.
How about the players who have played in this football game? What about that list?
That would be quite a list to see. I know, Coach Gahagan, a few weeks ago you asked me who the best player that I'd coached at SeaBreeze was, and I started going back and trying to, before the night was over, I was putting together a whole team, like who was the best free safety, who was the best strong safety, and you could fill out a pretty good roster.
And we've had conversations before, Coach Oakham, where we've said, you know what, this was back when there were only 10 schools, but we said, imagine how many state championships Volusia County would have if it was 1 or 2 schools that were together. You know, back in the day, all the kids that were at Father Lopez should have been Sand Crabs.
Many of them
helped you out.
Do you think?
Oh, it's batted down by McCrary.
But the other thing I like to think about is how many of these kids and their lineage is opposites. For example, Denzel Houston's brother, Leroy, was a star at SeaBreeze. Polite's uncle, Martin Lawrence, was an offensive lineman and played basketball and went to South Florida at SeaBreeze. How many of the Mainland kids, or how many of the SeaBreeze kids have ties? It's kind of neat to think about. I told Coach Allen before the game, Coach Oakham, that I don't think enough is done in the way of really talking about this game and its history and the importance of this game in this area.
You know, I was called by one of the News Journal sports people this week and asked for my phone number, and then got an email saying, well, I'm just going to come down to Edgewater and talk to you. And I was certain that it was going to be about this game, and but they're coming later, and so I have no idea what it's about. But I would love to. My paper got rained on, so it rained in Port Orange last night, and I didn't get to read the sports. Was there not a lot about the game?
There hasn't been a lot about this game all week, and typically for this game leading up, there's an article about 2 kids from each team who have a bond. They grew up together and they do some things, and you know, how many of the coaching staffs have alum? Blake Hillman on the SeaBreeze sideline played in this game when he was a member of the SeaBreeze Sand Crabs. Travis Rowland played in this game. But their list of
Terry Anthony.
Yeah, their list of assistant coaches who have played in this game on Mainland is a lot larger than it is from the SeaBreeze sideline.
Coach, I think it speaks to the direction of not only what's happening in say at the News Journal, but you know, a lot of print and online media. It's geared toward recruiting. It's geared toward how many kids are going to school. It's geared toward how many kids have offers. And I'll be honest, It's kind of sickening to me because that's all it's about. And what it's done in turn is taken the kids and given the kids that same mentality, which also in turn makes them say, well, I'm going to go to this school, but I know I'm going to leave this school and go to this school because I want to get to a better school, because somehow being at the better school is going to make me a different player. And those college coaches, they're not smart enough to know that the uniform that made me better or worse or whatnot. So I think it speaks to that a little bit as well.
And there has been crossover both ways.
Oh, I'm certain.
The guys in red and white have taken guys from the blue and vice versa.
Right, but I just think the direction of the people that are doing things with that particular newspaper, I think it is geared that way a little bit.
Yeah, I think anybody that really did any sort of research would find out that most of these kids aren't going to play college football.
Yep.
There's going to be a few that will, but most of them will not, and they're the kids who may benefit the most from being on these kind of teams and involved in these kind of games.
But this is also the game that a lot of these kids hang their hat on.
Oh, I know.
I mean, this is their Super Bowl. This is their everything. This is their everything.
They'll remember it all their lives.
When I was an assistant coach at SEABREEZE, we were 0-9, and we were pitiful in every respect until the Mainland game. And we came out of the coaches meeting, and I was the defensive coordinator. We got out of the field. The team had already taken the field, done their stretches, and were in individual practice with not a coach around. And we ended up losing, getting tackled on the 1-yard line. But I decided that year, when I got to be the head coach the next year, that if I could get SEABREEZE to get ready to play every week like they got ready to play Mainland, we could be really good. So I tried to take that approach, or try to get them to understand that, because back then it wasn't a district game, but yet it was their most important game.
Coach, looked like you were pretty successful at doing that based on results.
It worked out well.
I have to go back and look. I have all the scores from SEABREEZE High School and in this series, but it's going to take some research. But how many district championships, not between the two teams, but how many times these two teams have been in the same district? It hasn't been.
It's gone back and forth, but not lots. There was a time when Mainland was a larger enrolled school than SEABREEZE most years.
Come on, Sammy. Oh.
Better punt.
And they hit him on that one. They hit his foot on that. They hit him afterwards, I thought they might get a roughing, and it is a much better kick.
48. Ball was started at the 48-yard line. It's down at the 5 for 45, 47-yard punt for Hayward.
Take all of those.
That'll help his average.
Not by much.
We have established the help and hurt.
Getting back to the history of this game, having gone to Father Lopez, this game meant nothing to me ever. And then when I became a coach at SEABREEZE, then I started taking it all in, and then I got caught up in the history. And I think if people sit back and take it all in and have an appreciation for the names that have taken part in this game, not just, and I'm not talking about players either, I'm talking about coaches and administrators that have all been a part of this game. I think it's just eye-opening to a lot of people. Houston's going to keep the ball. He'll break one tackle and then get pushed out of bounds by Cole Dunnigan.
I'd like to put the clock on Denville in the 40-yard dash and see how fast he is.
I bet it's not as fast as you think. He's just one of those guys, I think, that runs just as fast as he needs to.
It's fast enough for you not to get him.
Yeah.
Right.
Just under a minute 30 remaining in the contest. Again, Mainland comfortably ahead of SEABREEZE by a score of 26-9. It's obvious that all Mainland's going to do is keep it on the ground.
I hope so.
Keep the clock going.
I hope so.
Hope we don't have a double pass in store for us tonight.
take this time to give a shout out to a few people that make this broadcast possible. Internet engineer Charlie Williams, cameraman Arden Gregory, the CEO of Double D Productions, Dan Discoli. 3 guys who are here with us every week making this possible. We're under a minute. Killens on the carry. He's picked up a first down.
They don't have to snap it, but about one more time.
So another Mainland SeaBreeze, or SeaBreeze Mainland, however you want to term it, game is about to be put in the record books. This Mainland senior class, as Mainland goes into a victory set, this Mainland senior class can say that they went undefeated against the Sand Crabs.
And they will remember that.
Yes, they will. And in doing so, they can say that they also outscored SeaBreeze by a score of 110 to 27 in 4 games. So definitely a final.
That's about on pace with what they've done with all their opponents.
Oh, no doubt. As the teams meet at the 50 to shake hands, we're going to take a second or two to ourselves to gather our thoughts, and we'll be back.